The rarest personality kinds are INFJs and INTJs, which combined make up barely 3 to 5% of the population. These types not only share the same primary function, introverted intuition, but they are also introverts as well. NI, or introverted intuition, is the capacity to detect patterns and predict potential outcomes with extraordinary clarity. It absorbs the knowledge it receives now and draws judgments based on implications and results. As a result, it's frequently referred to as having a prophetic or visionary function. It's also the reason why some INTJs and INFJs believe they possess psychic abilities. Introverted intuition, which is the major function of the INFJ and INTJ personality types, serves as their main method of understanding the world and their place in it. They feel the happiest and have the greatest energy there. It's their happy place. The world isn't set up to play to the inherent abilities of the INFJ and INTJ, though, as a small minority of people possess the skill set that dominate introverted intuitive types do. The strangest of all the cognitive processes, according to psychologist and author Carl Jung, who created the notion of psychological types, is introverted intuition. INFJ and INTJ personality types struggle to develop their intuition because it is so undervalued. Instead, they frequently suppress it in favor of the auxiliary functions that are more externally rewarded: extroverted feeling in INFJs and extroverted thinking in INTJs. They might also stop up trying to enhance their intuition in favor of putting more effort into strengthening their personality's flaws because they are so annoyed by how poorly other people can understand how they think intuitively. They do this in an effort to fix themselves and become more like what the rest of the world values. INFJs and INTJs should work on their less developed functions, but it's equally critical that they don't ignore their dominant intuitive process. How to develop introverted intuition in INFJs and INTJs. INFJs and INTJs can strengthen their introverted intuition in the following 4 ways. 1. Trust your instincts. For many INFJs and INTJs, recognizing what introverted intuition is and how it affects their personalities is the first step toward developing intuition. The core of the personalities of INFJs and INTJs is their introverted intuition. It constantly operates, has an effect on every other aspect of their personality, and is always on. It's very hard to completely repress it. Therefore, working with it as opposed to against it will be far more useful. The intuitive process and the emotions or thinking processes frequently clash in INFJs and INTJs. For instance, if an INFJ knows their choice will harm others, they may still struggle to make it despite feeling secure in it because of its future significance. This isn't to say that INFJs and INTJs should always let intuition rule over feeling and thinking. Those functions still serve important purposes. However, if they frequently ignore their intuitive insights in favor of receiving approval from others, their intuition is probably being repressed too much. 2. Put your intuition to the test. The fact that the dominant function is always on does not automatically imply that it is simple to utilize. We use a balanced combination of our cognitive functions every day since we are complicated beings with a variety of personality features. In daily life, there may be a number of instances where using introverted intuition is challenging. As an INFJ myself, I experience this difficulty frequently at work. Throughout the working day, I follow my gut instinct. But as soon as someone questions me or doesn't grasp what I'm trying to say, I get angry and want to avoid conflict at all costs. Explaining the intuitive process to others who don't lead with it is tremendously exhausting. Each obstacle you face, nevertheless, gives you a chance to strengthen your intuition. Instead of abandoning up because no one will understand, take the time to carefully consider how you got from point A to point B. This will prevent you from becoming frustrated by the situation. This will not only help you better grasp how an intuitive leap functions, but it will also help you describe it to others. 3. Spend time with people who have your perceptive personality. INFJs and INTJs presumably commonly find themselves in the company of individuals who lack their introverted intuitive skill set. This makes ignoring or avoiding it simple. They eventually limit their use of it to times when they are alone. For an INFJ or INTJ, engaging in intuitive dialogue with someone who likewise leads with intuition is one of the few things that is more thrilling. These four personality types are INFJs, INTJs, ENFPs, and ENTPs. INFJs and INTJs can develop their intuition by finding and interacting with other intuitive dominant personality types. Also, it may enable individuals to see the function as a positive aspect of their personality rather than a source of external dissatisfaction. They might also find that personality types like ENFJs, ENTJs, ISFPs, and ISTPs, who have lesser introverted intuition, have a surprising amount of appreciation for them. 4. Savor your gut instinct. Every INFJ and INTJ should have a truly enjoyable outlet for their introverted intuition. This outlet is writing for many INFJs and INTJs. When I write in the flow state, where the words seem to come from nowhere and are also somehow exactly what I want them to be, I feel incredibly energized. I also take pleasure in reading books and listening to podcasts that stimulate my intuition and send my head down a rabbit hole of intuitive notions. If there is one pastime or interest that brings you the most joy and makes you feel the most like you, it's usually one that gives you the freedom to exercise your dominant function. Let yourself to enjoy whatever it is thoroughly so that you can both strengthen your dominating function and take care of yourself, and it benefits you to develop intuition. INFJs and INTJs will always experience difficulties that most people can't relate to or comprehend. In spite of the difficulties you encounter outside of yourself, it is in your best interests to focus on building your strengths if you have one of these personality types. Learning about introverted intuition and how it affects your personality, pushing yourself to fully comprehend how it functions, hanging out with like-minded people who value your strengths, and spending lots of time taking advantage of all that this special aspect of your personality has to offer will help you achieve this.